You disgusting ghetto rat! Victoria Hastings' diamond-ringed hand explodes across Tessa's face. Blood sprays. The champagne glass shatters. On your knees! Tessa drops. 150 guests in designer gowns stand frozen as Victoria grabs her hair and drags her across marble like an animal. This is what their kind deserves. The apron tears. Something metallic skitters free, a recording device blinking red. Victoria's grip goes slack. Tessa rises slowly, blood streaming down her chin, but her eyes transform from fear to something deadly. She reaches into the torn fabric. An FBI badge emerges. Special Agent Tessa Coleman. Her voice cuts like a blade. You're under arrest. The words detonate like a bomb. Victoria's face drains white. She stumbles backward, gasping, trembling. Her legs buckle. She collapses at the feet of the woman she called trash. The device keeps recording, blinking, capturing everything. What Victoria doesn't know. This arrest is 3 years in the making. 6 weeks earlier. The service elevator descends into shadows. Tessa Coleman adjusts her uniform, fingers brushing the wire in her button. Her other hand touches Lisa's bracelet hidden in her pocket. I'm here, sis. For you. The doors open to a different world. Marble gleams under crystal chandeliers. Floor-to-ceiling windows frame Central Park. Art worth millions covers the walls. This isn't a home. It's a monument to excess. Gerald Davis, 60 and eternally complicit, barely glances at her. Follow me. Don't touch anything. Tessa recognizes him from Lisa's complaints 3 years ago. The man who watched, who did nothing. Victoria Hastings sits behind a mahogany desk, typing. Designer suit. Perfect hair. She doesn't look up. You people always need extra instructions. Victoria's voice drips condescension. Don't touch anything expensive. Girls like you rarely last. Same words, same tone, just like Lisa described. Tessa keeps her face neutral. Yes, ma'am. Gerald hands her a tablet. 52 rooms. Mrs. Hastings has standards. The last girl who worked here didn't work out. The last girl was Lisa. What happened to her? Tessa asks softly. Gerald's eyes flicker. She had an accident after she quit. The lie hangs between them. 3 years ago, Lisa's voice through the phone terrified. She's a monster, Tess. I need out. Just quit, Lisa. Come home. I can't. She has my passport. Threatened to call ICE on the others. Static. She's coming. I have to go. 2 days later, Lisa tried to run. 2 days later, police called about the crash. Back to present. Tessa photographs the staff quarters. Cramped, dark. Wage ledgers show illegal deductions. 3 women sleep here, terrified, trapped. In the West Wing, Victoria's voice rises. Tessa activates her button camera. Victoria towers over a young woman, Eastern European, 19, trembling. You breathe too loudly, it's disgusting. The girl nods, tears streaming. One more mistake and you're deported. Like the last black girl who talked back. She means Lisa. The recording captures everything. That night, Tessa finds a loose tile in the staff bathroom. She pries it free. Lisa's diary falls into her hands. First entry. If anything happens to me, it's not an accident. Victoria Hastings threatened to kill me. Lisa. Tessa's vision blurs. She presses the diary to her chest. I found it, Lisa. Your proof. The last page reads, She's killed someone before me. Day 5. Tessa moves through Victoria's bedroom with practiced efficiency. Silk sheets, closets the size of apartments, a bathroom with gold fixtures. The laptop sits open on the nightstand. Tessa glances at the door. Empty hallway. She has 90 seconds before the cleaning schedule puts her somewhere else. The screen glows. Email open. Subject, Coleman problem, 2022. Her heart stops. Gerald, the Coleman situation is handled. Mechanic confirmed brake line severance. Police report filed as accidental. $50K transferred to close investigation. Destroy this email. V. Tessa's hands tremble as she photographs the screen. Button camera captures everything. This is it. Proof. Murder conspiracy in writing. Find something interesting? Victoria's voice slices through the silence. Tessa spins. Victoria stands in the doorway, arms crossed, eyes sharp as knives. I was just cleaning, ma'am. The laptop was open, unlocked, convenient. Victoria steps inside, closing the door behind her. The lock clicks. Do you think I'm stupid? She circles Tessa like a predator stalking prey. What's your name again? Tessa Coleman, ma'am. Victoria stops, studies Tessa's face with surgical precision. Coleman. The name rolls off her tongue. You look familiar? Do I know you? She remembers Lisa. Stay calm, don't react. Tessa shakes her head. No, ma'am. Oh, I've never... Victoria grabs Tessa's wrist. Her grip is iron. She pulls Tessa close, examining her features. You remind me of someone. A girl who used to work here. Same defiant eyes, same stubborn chin. Tessa's pulse hammers. I don't know what you mean. She thought she was smart too. Victoria's voice drops to a whisper. Thought she could run. Thought she could go to the police with her little complaints. The threat hangs in the air between them. Do you know what happens to girls who run, Tessa? Don't break. Don't give her anything. No, ma'am. Victoria leans in. Her breath is mint and malice. They have accidents. She releases Tessa's wrist, steps back, smooths her designer jacket. One mistake. Just one. And I'll make sure you regret ever stepping foot in my home. Understood? Yes, ma'am. Victoria exits. The door clicks shut. Tessa's legs nearly give out. She grabs the nightstand, breathing hard. Not from fear, from pure, incandescent rage. She pulls out her phone, records a voice memo for the FBI. She just threatened me. Same word she used on Lisa. She's testing me, pushing to see if I'll break. I need 4 more weeks. She's going to confess. Day 12. The penthouse transforms into a palace. Crystal chandeliers blaze. A string quartet plays Vivaldi. 150 guests in designer gowns and tailored suits sip champagne worth more than Tessa's yearly salary. She moves through the crowd in her uniform, invisible, a ghost serving drinks to people who don't see her face. Victoria holds court near the windows, laughing with a U.S. senator. Her $15,000 gown shimmers under the lights. Tessa approaches with a tray of champagne flutes. This moment is deliberate, calculated. Lisa's diary mentioned Victoria's public cruelty at parties. Let her show everyone who she really is. Tessa's foot catches, just slightly. The tray tilts. Champagne arcs through the air in slow motion. It splashes across Victoria's chest. The silk gown darkens instantly. $15,000 ruined. The room goes silent. The quartet stops mid-note. Victoria's face contorts, from shock to fury in half a second. Her hand moves faster than thought. The slap echoes like a gunshot. Tessa's head snaps sideways. Blood fills her mouth, but the button camera on her uniform captures everything, every face, every witness. You clumsy ghetto roach! Victoria's voice cuts through the silence. This is a $15,000 gown. Do you have any idea? She doesn't finish. Her hand strikes again, harder. Tessa drops to one knee, not from the blow, from performance. I'm so sorry, Mrs. Hastings. I didn't mean... On your knees, now! Victoria's voice is ice and venom. Wipe it up, use your hands. 150 people watch, not one moves, not one speaks. Tessa lowers herself completely, presses her palms to the marble. The champagne is cold against her skin as she wipes, dragging her hands across the floor like a dog cleaning its mess. Victoria stands over her, triumphant. This is what happens when standards drop. When we let these people into our homes. Scattered, nervous laughter from the crowd. Senator Douglas raises his glass. Quite right, Victoria. Sometimes they need reminding of their place. Victoria smiles, cold, cruel. The last girl who complained about my methods learned her lesson, permanently. The word hangs in the air. Permanently. Tessa's heart races. That's it. That's the confession. On camera, in front of a U.S. senator. The senator chuckles. What happened to her? Victoria sips her champagne, eyes glittering. Car accident. Very tragic. Her tone makes it clear it was anything but. Gerald appears, grabs Tessa's arm, pulls her toward the service hallway. In the corridor, he whispers urgently, Just quit. Leave tonight. Your sister tried to fight back too. Look where it got her! Tessa freezes. What did you say? Gerald realizes his mistake. His face drains. He hurries away. He knows about Lisa. He was involved. Tessa retreats to the staff bathroom. Her hands shake, not from pain, but rage so pure it burns. She touches Lisa's bracelet through her pocket, records a voice memo. Gerald Davis knows about Lisa's murder. Victoria just bragged about permanent lesson to Senator Douglas. I have it all on tape. Her reflection stares back, bruised cheek, bloodied lip, the same injuries Lisa had 3 years ago. Tessa smiles through the blood. You just confessed to 150 witnesses. Day 13, 3 a.m. The rooftop is silent except for the wind. Manhattan spreads below like a galaxy of lights. Tessa pulls her jacket tighter, checks the stairwell. Empty. She dials. Agent Rachel Bennett answers on the first ring. Coleman, status. I have assault on tape, racial slurs, trafficking evidence. Wage theft across 200 workers. Tessa's voice is steady, professional. And Gerald Davis just admitted knowledge of Lisa's murder. Silence on the line. Then, we're pulling you out. Tonight. No. Tessa, she hasn't confessed to Lisa's murder directly. I need more time. Bennett's voice sharpens. You have enough for trafficking, assault, conspiracy. We can build the murder case from what? 3-year-old evidence? A closed police report? She paid off everyone, Rachel. The only way this sticks is if she confesses. On tape. To me. This isn't just about justice anymore. Bennett's tone softens. It's personal. You're compromised. Tessa's composure cracks. She killed my sister, bought her way out of it, made it look like an accident. I need a murder confession, not implications. Silence stretches between them. 2 more weeks, Bennett finally says. That's it. If she discovers who you are, then I die finishing what Lisa started. Tessa's voice is steel. I can live with that. She ends the call, stares at the city lights through blurred vision. 3 years ago. Lisa's voice, panicked, through the phone. I'm running. Tonight. She said she'll kill me if I go to police. Tessa in her apartment, throwing on clothes. I'm coming to get you. Stay where you are. No time. I'm taking her car, driving to the station now. Lisa's breath comes fast. I love you, Tess. If something happens, nothing will happen. Just drive carefully. I'll meet you there. 2 hours later, police officer at her door, face grim. Are you Tessa Coleman, sister of Lisa Coleman? The words that followed were white noise, single car accident, 90 miles per hour, crashed into barrier, died on impact. At the morgue, Tessa held Lisa's cold hand, found the silver bracelet somehow intact among her belongings. This wasn't an accident, I'll prove it, I promise. 1 year later, FBI Academy, Tessa graduating top of her class. Her only goal, take down Victoria Hastings, back to present. Tessa looks at the city, whispers to Lisa's memory. I'm so close, sis. She's escalating, she'll brag, they always do. 43 floors below, Victoria can't sleep. She stares at the background check on her tablet. Tessa Coleman, clean record, references check out, employment history solid. But something feels wrong. She calls her private investigator. Dig deeper on the new Maid. I want everything. Family, friends, where she was 3 years ago. She hangs up. Calls Gerald. Watch that new girl. Something's off about her. Gerald's voice is cautious. Want me to handle her like, not yet. I want to see if she breaks first. Victoria smiles in the darkness. She's broken dozens of girls before. This one will be no different. The next morning, Victoria makes an announcement. We're going to the Hamptons this weekend, private estate, just essential staff. Her eyes find Tessa. You're coming. I need to test your loyalty. Tessa's blood runs cold. The Hamptons estate, isolated, no witnesses, the exact setup from Lisa's last entry in her diary. That night, sliding under Tessa's door, a note. She killed your sister. She'll kill you too. Run. Someone who knows. Tessa burns the note and packs her bag. She's not running. Day 18. Hampton's estate. The mansion sits on ocean cliffs like a predator waiting. Waves crash below. No neighbors for miles. Cell service. Dead. Victoria installed jammers. Tessa steps out of the SUV, scanning for exits. 3 roads in, all gated, all monitored. Victoria dismisses the other staff within an hour. You can all go. I only need one person this weekend. Her eyes lock on Tessa. You're staying. We need to have a private conversation. The cars pull away, dust settling. Tessa is alone with Victoria and Gerald in a mansion that swallows sound. This is exactly how Lisa's diary described her last weekend. Tessa's FBI emergency beacon sits in her shoe sole. She activated it before entering the estate. Backup is 90 minutes away. She just needs to survive until then. Stand here. Victoria points to the back terrace. No shade, direct sun. Hold these. She hands Tessa 4 suitcases, 70 pounds combined. Don't move until I say. 3 hours pass. The sun burns. Tessa's arms scream. Sweat soaks through her uniform. She doesn't move. Victoria watches from the air-conditioned sunroom, sipping wine, testing, always testing. Night falls. No food, no water. You can come inside now. Victoria's voice echoes. There's a room prepared for you. She leads Tessa down and down and down. The basement. Cold, dark, stone walls, a single bulb. Your sister spent her last night in this room too. Victoria's smile is poison. Sleep well. The door slams. Lock clicks. Tessa's flashlight, hidden in her bra, illuminates the darkness. Scratches on the wall. Desperate. Clawed. Lisa C. 2022, if I die, it's murder. Tessa's knees buckle. She traces the letters with shaking fingers. Oh God, Lisa, you knew. You tried to leave evidence. Victoria's voice crackles over an intercom. Comfortable down there? Your sister was so scared that night. She cried, begged. It was pathetic. She wants me to know. Wants to see me break like Lisa did. Tessa photographs the scratches, then picks the lock with a hairpin. FBI training, 30 seconds. The house sleeps. She moves like a ghost. Victoria's office, 3rd floor. Door unlocked, arrogant. Inside, file cabinets. Tessa searches fast. Lisa Coleman, employee termination protocol. She pulls it open. Photos of the crash scene. Mechanic receipts. Brake line cut, $500. Text messages to Gerald. Problem solved. Make sure accident report is clean. Tessa photographs everything with trembling hands. I have it. I finally have it. Victoria's voice behind her. I knew you'd snoop, just like your sister. Victoria leans against the door frame, knife glinting in her hand. I've known since day 3. Tessa backs away slowly. Known what? That you're Lisa Coleman's little sister. Victoria steps inside, closing the door. Same eyes, same defiant stare. You both thought you were so clever. Tessa's hand moves to her wire device. I don't know what. Drop the act. Victoria's voice cuts like glass. You think I'm stupid? I knew the moment I saw you. I just wanted to see how far you'd go. She's been playing me the entire time. Victoria pulls out her phone. Dials. Gerald, come to the office. Bring the car. Tessa's blood freezes. Same car, same plan, same accident. You're going to stage another crash. Tessa's voice is flat. Statement, not question. Victoria smiles. Your sister was weak. She cried, begged on her knees, so pathetic. She circles Tessa like a shark. I cut her brake lines myself. Watched her drive away thinking she was free. The crash was spectacular. Keep her talking. FBI is coming. The police believed every word I said. Victoria continues, drunk on her own power. Poor girl. Tragic accident. Such a waste. She laughs. And now you'll have the same accident. Sisters reunited in death. Poetic, really. Tessa's hand brushes her wire device, presses the emergency signal. You really are stupid, Victoria. Victoria's smile falters. Excuse me? I just needed you to confess. Tessa pulls the FBI device from her pocket. And you did. The color drains from Victoria's face. No. Special Agent Tessa Coleman. You just confessed to murdering my sister. Victoria lunges with the knife. Tessa sidesteps, FBI training, grabs her wrist, twists. The knife clatters. Victoria crashes to the floor. Footsteps pound up the stairs. Gerald appears in the doorway, sees the scene, turns to run. FBI is already outside, Gerald. You're done. The distant thrum of helicopter blades grows louder. Victoria, pinned to the floor, gasps. This won't hold up. I'll say you entrapped me. Revenge plot. No jury will... Tessa leans close. I have 6 weeks of evidence. And you just confessed to murder, on tape, to an FBI agent. The helicopter circles overhead. It's over. Victoria has one last card. Wait, there's something you don't know about Lisa. Day 19, morning. FBI tactical team storms the mansion. Agent Rachel Bennett leads, armed unit securing every room. Victoria sits on the floor, hands raised. Wait, please, there's something about Lisa you don't know. Tessa goes rigid. What are you talking about? She wasn't innocent. Victoria's voice turns desperate, manipulative. She was stealing from me, blackmailing me with fake abuse claims. That's why I had to... Shut up! Tessa's voice is ice. I have proof. Documents. She was going to ruin me with lies. Bennett grabs Victoria's arm, cuffs her. Victoria Hastings, you're under arrest for... Victoria jerks away. No, you don't understand. That girl was poison. She lunges at Tessa. Bennett pulls her back, but Victoria breaks free. Pure desperation, fueling impossible strength. She grabs Tessa's hair, yanks hard. I should have killed you too! Victoria screams, dragging Tessa across the floor. Your sister was a lying bitch and you're just like her! Tessa doesn't fight back. Lets Victoria assault her while FBI cameras record everything. I'll bury you. No one will believe a word you say. You're nothing! The fabric of Tessa's apron strains, rips. The FBI recording device tumbles free, spins across the floor, stops at Bennett's feet. Victoria freezes, her grip goes slack. Tessa stands slowly, blood streams from her split lip, but her face is calm, controlled. She reaches into her uniform, pulls out Lisa's diary, holds it up. "You want to call my sister a liar?" Tessa's voice cuts like a scalpel. "Here's her diary. 3 years of your abuse. Documented, dated, witnessed." She drops it at Victoria's feet. "You want to call me nothing?" Tessa pulls out her FBI badge. "I'm the agent who just spent 6 weeks recording every crime you committed. 46 separate incidents, 200 witnesses, your own confessions." Bennett picks up the recording device. "And we just captured your second murder confession." Victoria's legs give out. She collapses, sobbing. "No, no, please!" Gerald is dragged in by 2 agents. He sees Victoria on the floor and immediately cracks. "I'll testify. I'll tell you everything. She ordered me to cut the brake lines. I hired the mechanic. She paid off the cops." Victoria's face goes white. "Gerald, shut up!" "She watched Lisa drive away and said, 'Problem solved.' She laughed." Victoria realizes everyone she trusted just betrayed her, and the trap is complete. FBI processing room, 2 hours later. Victoria sits in an interrogation chair, composed again, hair fixed, makeup reapplied from her purse. The shock has worn off. The lawyer is coming. She's rich, she's connected, she's survived scandals before. This will blow over, it always does. Gregory Walsh arrives within the hour. Expensive suit. Shark smile. He's defended senators, CEOs, criminals who walked free because of his brilliance. "My client was defending herself against an intruder," Walsh begins. "This so-called agent came here under false pretenses for personal revenge. Any confessions were coerced under duress. The case is tainted." Bennett looks at Tessa. "Agent Coleman, would you like to address the defendant?" Tessa nods. She enters the room carrying 7 evidence boxes. Victoria's confidence flickers. Tessa places the first box on the table, opens it. Lisa's diary. 3 years of entries documenting your threats, abuse, and psychological torture. Dated, detailed, including your statement. "I'll kill you if you go to the police." Second box. Brake line receipts, your signature. $500 paid to mechanic David Thompson on March 8, 2022, 2 days before Lisa's crash. Third box. 6 weeks of recordings. 52 separate incidents of assault, trafficking evidence, racial slurs, wage theft, all captured on FBI-authorized surveillance. Fourth box. Gerald Davis's signed confession. He details how you ordered him to hire the mechanic, sabotage Lisa's car, and bribe police investigators. Fifth box. Financial records. $50,000 transferred to Detective James Morrison on March 10, 2022. The same detective who closed Lisa's case within 24 hours. Sixth box. Lisa's medical records from the months before her death. Documented injuries consistent with long-term physical abuse, defensive wounds, evidence of strangulation attempts. Seventh box. Police report showing suspicious closed investigation. We traced payments from your offshore accounts to 3 officers involved in the case. Tessa opens each box methodically. Walsh's confident expression crumbles with each revelation. "Your client paid to have my sister's brake lines cut." Tessa's voice is surgical. "She watched Lisa drive to her death. She bribed police to close the investigation. She confessed twice, on camera, to federal agents." She leans forward. "Mr. Walsh, I didn't entrap anyone. I gave your client 6 weeks to not commit crimes on camera. She chose to assault me, threaten me, use racial slurs, and ultimately confess to premeditated murder." Walsh tries to interject. "The emotional compromise is irrelevant." Tessa cuts him off. "Every piece of evidence would hold up regardless of my relationship to the victim. The recordings are legal. The warrants are valid. The confessions were voluntary." She turns to Victoria. "You want to know why I let you drag me, slap me, humiliate me in front of 150 people?" Victoria stares, speechless. "Because I needed you to show the world who you really are, a violent, racist murderer who sees human beings as property." Tessa reaches into her pocket, pulls out Lisa's silver bracelet. "Lisa wore this every day. I found it in the wreckage of her car." She places it on the table between them. "This is evidence now, and every time you see it in court, you'll remember the woman you murdered." Victoria's composure shatters. She reaches for the bracelet. Tessa pulls it back. You don't get to touch her memory ever again. Victoria breaks completely. Sobs rack her body. Makeup streams down her face. I spent 3 years becoming the person who could take you down. Tessa's voice is quiet now, deadly. Lisa couldn't fight you, but I can, and I did. She stands, looks down at the woman who once seemed untouchable. You saw me as invisible, disposable, beneath you. Tessa's voice hardens. But I saw you. I saw every crime, every cruelty, every moment you chose power over people. Bennett enters. Transport's ready. Victoria Hastings, you're being formally charged with first-degree murder, conspiracy to commit murder, human trafficking, assault, witness tampering, and obstruction of justice. Victoria doesn't move. Can't move. The weight of her crimes has finally pinned her down. As agents lift her from the chair, she looks back at Tessa one final time. Tessa holds Lisa's bracelet up to the light. She's watching you fall, Victoria, and she's finally at peace. Victoria is led away in handcuffs. The billionaire who thought herself above the law now faces life in prison. Walsh gathers his files in silence. He knows this case is unwinnable. Tessa stands alone in the interrogation room. She presses Lisa's bracelet to her lips. I kept my promise, sis. But Victoria's arrest is just the beginning. Her powerful friends are about to learn what happens when they protect a murderer. Week 1 post-arrest. The media detonates. Tech billionaire charged with murder of former maid. FBI agent goes undercover to solve sister's accidental death. Victoria Hastings, philanthropist or cold-blooded killer. Victoria's mugshot spreads across every platform within hours. Disheveled hair, smeared makeup, eyes hollow with shock. The polished billionaire replaced by a broken woman in an orange jumpsuit. Social media explodes. #Justice for Lisa trends worldwide. Millions share Tessa's story, an FBI agent who endured 6 weeks of abuse to avenge her murdered sister. The narrative is perfect. The villain is clear, the hero undeniable. Federal prosecutor Diane Harrison holds a press conference on the courthouse steps. Cameras flash like lightning. We are charging Victoria Hastings with first-degree murder in the death of Lisa Coleman. Additionally, 45 counts including human trafficking, conspiracy to commit murder, assault, witness tampering, bribery, and obstruction of justice. She pauses. The crowd leans forward. Evidence includes the defendant's own recorded confessions, extensive witness testimony, forensic evidence, financial records showing bribery of law enforcement, and 6 weeks of undercover documentation by FBI Special Agent Tessa Coleman. The questions come fast. Will the recordings be made public? Portions will be released to demonstrate the severity of Miss Hastings' crimes while protecting victim privacy. Is this case really about justice or revenge? Agent Coleman conducted a lawful federal investigation. Every piece of evidence was obtained legally with proper warrants and authorization. Her personal connection to the victim doesn't invalidate the crimes Miss Hastings committed. That afternoon, the video drops. Redacted footage from the gala. Victoria slapping Tessa, dragging her across marble. The words, "This is what their kind deserves." The comment to Senator Douglas. The last girl learned her lesson, permanently. Public outrage reaches fever pitch. Protesters gather outside the courthouse. Signs read, "No one is above the law" and "Justice for Lisa" and "How many more victims?" Elite Household Staffing, LLC, collapses within 72 hours. Federal raids hit 12 offices nationwide simultaneously. Agents seize computers, files, financial records. 200 workers, terrified, exploited, trapped, finally come forward. The testimonies paint a horror show. Wage theft totaling $12.3 million, passport confiscation, threats of deportation, forced labor, physical abuse, sexual harassment, and 15 workers confirm they heard Victoria brag about Lisa Coleman's accident. She used it as a warning, one woman testifies. She'd say, "Don't end up like the Coleman girl. We all knew it wasn't an accident." Victoria's allies abandon her like rats fleeing a sinking ship. Senator Douglas issues a statement. I condemn Victoria Hastings' actions in the strongest terms. I deeply regret my presence at that event and any perception of complicity. Tech industry board members resign from Hastings Industries en masse. Charity organizations strip Victoria's name from buildings, return her donations, foundations she funded dissolve overnight, former friends give interviews to save their own reputations. We always suspected something was wrong, but we were afraid to speak up. She was so controlling. We should have done more. The pivot from enabler to victim is instantaneous, shameless. Gregory Walsh assembles Victoria's defense. He's the best money can buy. He's gotten worse people acquitted. He tries everything. Entrapment claim. Agent Coleman targeted my client for personal revenge, not legitimate investigation. FBI counters with warrant documentation. Tessa was investigating an active trafficking case. Victoria's crimes were voluntary. No coercion, no entrapment. Mental health defense. Miss. Hastings suffers from severe anxiety and impulse control disorder. Prosecution presents decades of calculated abuse. Financial records showing systematic exploitation. Text messages demonstrating premeditation. This isn't illness, it's cruelty. Character assassination of Tessa. The agent was emotionally compromised, unreliable, driven by vendetta. This backfires spectacularly when the jury sees Tessa's professionalism. Her composure. 6 weeks of recordings showing she never once lost control or provoked Victoria. Discredit Lisa. The victim was stealing from Miss Hastings, blackmailing her with false abuse claims. Prosecution shows Victoria's own financial records. No theft occurred, no missing money. The accusation is pure fiction. Every defense strategy crumbles against the mountain of evidence. Tessa's formal deposition. She sits across from Walsh in a conference room. Cameras rolling, every word recorded. Walsh leans forward. Isn't it true you joined the FBI specifically to target my client? Tessa's voice is steady. I joined the FBI to seek justice for my sister's murder. When your client's company was investigated for trafficking, I volunteered for an operation that would serve both the federal case and Lisa's cold case. You were emotionally compromised. I was professionally thorough. Every piece of evidence would hold up regardless of my personal connection. You manipulated her. Tessa's eyes harden. I gave your client 6 weeks to not commit crimes on camera. She chose to assault me, use racial slurs, threaten me, and confess to murder. Those were her choices, not mine. Walsh switches tactics. My sister was a 31-year-old woman who wanted to escape abuse. Tessa's voice cuts like steel. Your client murdered her, bribed police, and got away with it for 3 years, until I made sure she didn't. Walsh has no response. The worker testimonies break hearts. Emily Brooks, 19, Romanian, trembling on the stand. She made me work 18 hours every day, paid $3 per hour. When I asked about Lisa Coleman, Mrs. Hastings said that one learned her lesson. I was terrified. Sarah Mitchell, 34, Polish, voice shaking. She took my passport, said if I complained, she'd have me deported. She mentioned Lisa all the time as a warning. Don't end up like her. We all knew it wasn't an accident. Hannah Cooper, 28, Irish, tears streaming. I saw Victoria slap Lisa 2 days before her accident. Lisa told me she was going to run. The next day, she was dead. Each testimony strengthens the murder case. Victoria used Lisa's death as a weapon to terrorize other workers. The corporate fallout cascades. Hastings Industries stock plummets 82%. Billions in market value evaporate overnight. The board votes unanimously to remove Victoria as CEO. Install interim leadership. Begin damage control. Class action lawsuit filed by 200 workers. $50 million in damages sought. Shareholders file fraud lawsuit. They claim Victoria hid criminal liability from investors. IRS launches criminal tax audit. Offshore accounts, suspicious payments, money laundering potential. Multiple states open investigations into elite household staffing operations. The empire Victoria built on exploitation crumbles to dust. Victoria attempts damage control. A televised statement from jail. Hair styled, makeup applied, tears ready. I deeply regret my actions. I recognize that I hurt people. I'm getting help. I'm learning. I hope someday the Coleman family can... The comment section explodes with rage. Fake tears, too late. You're only sorry you got caught memes spread. Victoria's crying face photoshopped into various contexts. The internet is merciless. Tessa sits for a 60 minutes interview. The journalist leans forward. You risked your life to catch your sister's killer. Was it worth it? Tessa's expression is calm, resolved, every second. Lisa couldn't get justice for herself, but I could get it for her, and in the process, we freed 200 women from Victoria's control. That's not revenge, that's accountability. The camera cuts to Lisa's photo. Young, smiling, full of life. This is Lisa Coleman. She was 31 years old. She loved to paint, wanted to open her own art gallery. Victoria Hastings stole that future. Tessa's voice doesn't waver. I'm just making sure Lisa's story is told, that she's remembered, that her death meant something. The interview goes viral. 15 million views in 24 hours. Comments pour in. This is what justice looks like. Tessa Coleman is a hero. How many more Lisas are out there? Private moment. Tessa stands at Lisa's grave, fresh flowers in her hands. The cemetery is quiet except for birdsong. She kneels. Places the FBI badge on the headstone, places Victoria's arrest warrant beside it. I did it, Lisa. Her voice breaks. She confessed. She's going to prison for what she did to you. The tears come finally. 3 years of grief, rage, determination, all pouring out. I miss you so much every day, but I kept my promise. She touches the headstone. Justice is coming, sis. You can rest now. She sits in the grass, talks to Lisa like she's still here. Tells her about the trial, the workers freed, the law that might be named after her. An hour passes, maybe 2. Finally, Tessa stands, wipes her eyes. I have to go. More work to do, more people to help. She kisses her fingers, presses them to Lisa's name carved in granite. I love you, always. Victoria's jail reality. No silk sheets, no designer clothes, no power. Inmates recognize her. They've seen the news. Many were domestic workers themselves. Victoria is isolated, afraid, powerless. The irony is perfect. She experiences what her victims felt. Guards treat her like any other prisoner. No special treatment, no deference. At night, she lies on a thin mattress and stares at concrete ceilings. The fall from penthouse to prison cell is complete. The trial date is set, and the whole world is watching. Federal courthouse, 8 weeks post-arrest. Victoria enters in an orange jumpsuit. Shackles clink with each step. Her hair hangs limp. No makeup, no jewelry. The woman who once commanded boardrooms now shuffles like a prisoner, because that's what she is. The courtroom is packed. Media, Lisa's friends, 200 workers she exploited, FBI colleagues, every seat filled. Judge Patricia Monroe takes the bench. Black woman, 60 years old, stern face carved from decades of seeing injustice. Her eyes hold no sympathy. All rise. The proceedings begin. Prosecutor Diane Harrison presents the case methodically, brutally. First, the video montage. 6 weeks of abuse compressed into 12 minutes. Victoria slapping Tessa, dragging her by the hair, the racial slurs, the gala humiliation, the threats. Several jurors gasp. One woman covers her mouth. 2 cry openly. Second, the audio confessions, both murder admissions played in full. I cut her brake lines myself, watched her drive away thinking she was free. I'll kill you like I killed that bitch sister of yours. Victoria's voice fills the courtroom, her own words condemning her. Third, forensic evidence. The mechanic testifies about cutting brake lines, brings the actual severed brake line from Lisa's car, holds it up for the jury. She paid me $500 cash, told me to make it look like wear and tear. Fourth, financial records, paper trail of bribes, $50,000 to police investigators, $10,000 to Gerald, $500 to the mechanic, all documented, all traceable. Fifth, Gerald's testimony. He describes in horrifying detail how Victoria ordered Lisa's murder, how they watched her drive away, how Victoria smiled and said, "Problem solved." The jury looks sick. Sixth, Lisa's diary, read aloud by Harrison. Victoria threatened to kill me today. I believe her. If anything happens to me, it's not an accident. The courtroom is silent, except for quiet sobbing. Gregory Walsh tries his final defense. He calls character witnesses. Only 3 appear. Their testimony is weak, unconvincing. He attempts insanity defense. Prosecution psychiatrist testifies Victoria is fully competent, just entitled, just cruel. Walsh plays the video of Lisa's diary entry where she fears deportation threats. Tries to claim Lisa was paranoid. Harrison counters with Victoria's own confession. I cut her brake lines myself. The defense collapses. Then Victoria makes a catastrophic decision. Against Walsh's advice, she takes the stand. She wears remorse like a costume. I'm deeply sorry for what happened to Lisa. I never meant... Harrison's cross-examination is surgical. You said you cut her brake lines yourself. Is that an accident, Miss Hastings? Victoria stammers. I was angry. I didn't think... You hired a mechanic. Paid him cash, sabotaged her car, watched her drive to her death. That's premeditated murder. She was going to ruin me, going to the police with lies. I had to stop her. The courtroom freezes. Victoria just confessed. Again, in open court. Walsh drops his head into his hands. Tessa's victim impact statement. She walks to the stand, faces Victoria directly. Lisa was my best friend, my protector, my hero. Her voice is steady, strong. She raised me after our parents died, sacrificed everything for me. Victoria won't meet her eyes. You saw her as disposable, as property, as something to control and destroy when she dared to want freedom. Tessa holds up Lisa's bracelet. You didn't just kill my sister. You tried to erase her, made her death look accidental, paid people to forget she existed. But I didn't forget. I couldn't. Her voice hardens. And I spent 3 years making sure the world would know Lisa Coleman's name and your crimes. She steps closer. You're not sorry. You're sorry you got caught. There's a difference. Victoria breaks down, sobbing, shaking. Tessa doesn't flinch. Every day you spend in prison, you'll remember the woman you thought you erased, but couldn't. She returns to her seat. The courtroom erupts in applause. The judge allows it. The jury deliberates 5 hours. 4 women stands. Middle-aged black woman. Her voice is clear. We find the defendant, Victoria Hastings, guilty of first-degree murder in the death of Lisa Coleman. Victoria gasps, grabs the table. Guilty on all 45 additional counts. The courtroom explodes. Cheers, tears, justice, sentencing. 2 weeks later, Judge Monroe's voice is ice and iron. Miss Hastings, you exhibited calculated cruelty, abused your power, ended a young woman's life to protect your reputation. You showed no remorse until confronted with irrefutable evidence. Victoria trembles. This court sentences you to life in prison without possibility of parole for the murder of Lisa Coleman. Victoria collapses forward. No, please. Additionally, 25 years for trafficking, 15 years for conspiracy, 10 years for assault, all consecutive. The judge leans forward. You will also pay $30 million in restitution to your victims. Victoria can't speak, can't breathe. You are remanded to federal custody immediately. Guards lift Victoria from her chair, shackle her, lead her away. She looks back at Tessa one final time. Tessa holds Lisa's photo, stone-faced, unmoved. Victoria disappears through the doors. Inmate #849236. But Tessa's case sparks something bigger, a movement that will change everything. 6 months later, the changes ripple outward like shockwaves. Congress introduces the Lisa Coleman Protection Act with bipartisan support. Mandatory labor inspections for private staffing agencies. Severe penalties for wage theft and passport confiscation. Whistleblower protections for domestic workers. Federal database tracking abuse complaints. Enhanced penalties for employers who harm workers who report abuse. The bill passes both House and Senate with overwhelming votes. The president signs it into law at a ceremony in the Rose Garden. Tessa stands beside him. Lisa's photo is displayed on an easel. Witnesses include 50 domestic workers who survived abuse. This law honors Lisa Coleman's memory, the president says, and protects thousands like her. Tessa holds Lisa's bracelet throughout, doesn't let go. Industry-wide reforms cascade. Major staffing companies overhaul practices overnight. Fear of prosecution is a powerful motivator. Independent oversight boards are established. 24/7 worker hotlines created. Anonymous reporting, 200 languages. Digital time tracking becomes mandatory to prevent wage theft. Regular welfare checks for isolated workers. The days of invisible exploitation are ending. The cultural shift is seismic. Hash justice for Lisa trends for months. Domestic workers organize, form unions, demand dignity. Celebrities and influencers spotlight worker rights. Public awareness reaches unprecedented levels. A documentary titled The Girl They Erased, Lisa Coleman's Story premieres on streaming platforms. It wins an Emmy. 30 million views in the first week. Tessa cooperates with filmmakers but refuses to take credit. This isn't about me, it's about Lisa and the 200 women we freed. The movement grows beyond one case, beyond one victim. It becomes a reckoning. The 200 workers rebuild their lives. Each receives restitution payments, $150,000 from Victoria's liquidated assets. Legal status assistance is provided by FBI and immigration advocates. Emily Brooks enrolls in community college, studies social work. I want to help others like me. Sarah Mitchell opens a small catering business with her restitution money, hires other survivors. Hannah Cooper starts a nonprofit called Lisa's House, a safe shelter for trafficked domestic workers. 20 beds, 24/7 support, job training programs, lives that were broken are slowly healing. The FBI creates a new division, Domestic Worker Protection Unit, led by Agent Rachel Bennett. Tessa is promoted to Senior Special Agent. She trains others in undercover operations, shares lessons learned, ensures the next Lisa won't be forgotten. 50 similar cases are open nationwide in the wake of Victoria's conviction. The system that failed Lisa is finally changing. Media coverage continues. New York establishes Lisa Coleman Day on the anniversary of Victoria's arrest. Annual events honor domestic workers, raise awareness, demand accountability. Tessa gives the keynote at FBI Academy graduations. Lisa couldn't save herself, but her story saved 200 others. That's the power of accountability. She establishes a scholarship fund in Lisa's name for aspiring artists. Lisa's paintings are displayed in a posthumous gallery exhibition. Every piece sells out. Proceeds go to worker advocacy groups. Victoria's prison reality. She works in the laundry, scrubbing floors, cleaning toilets, the exact work she forced on Lisa. No power, no control, no special treatment. Other inmates know who she is. She's isolated, afraid. The reversal is complete. Personal healing begins. Tessa keeps Lisa's diary and bracelet in protected FBI evidence, visits them regularly. She speaks at conferences, testifies before Congress, advocates for stronger protections, but mostly she remembers. Lisa's smile, her laugh, her dreams of opening an art gallery. The sister who raised her, protected her, loved her. Justice didn't bring Lisa back, but it ensured she would never be forgotten. 1 year later, Tessa receives an envelope from prison, Victoria's handwriting on the front. 1 year post-sentencing. Tessa's FBI office overlooks the city. The walls are covered with photos, Lisa's smile prominent among them. Framed newspaper clippings, letters from workers she helped free, a shadow box containing Lisa's bracelet. The envelope sits on her desk, prison postmark. Victoria's handwriting unmistakable. Agent Rachel Bennett leans against the doorframe. You don't have to read it. Tessa picks up the envelope, weighs it. No, I need to. She opens it slowly. Dear Agent Coleman, I don't expect forgiveness. I don't deserve it. Prison has given me time to understand what I became. A monster who saw human beings as objects, as property, as disposable. I think about Lisa every day. Her face haunts my nightmares, the brake lines. Her final moments driving away, believing she was free. The crash I caused. I told myself I was powerful, but real power is what you did, using your pain to protect others, turning grief into justice. I robbed the world of your sister. I robbed you of family. Nothing I say can fix that. But I want you to know, Lisa is remembered here. The inmates know her story. Many were domestic workers themselves. They tell me what Lisa meant to them, what you did for them. They call her a saint. They call you a hero. I call myself a murderer. Because that's what I am. I will spend the rest of my life in this cell thinking about the woman I murdered and the sister who made sure she wasn't forgotten. I'm sorry. Not for me. I deserve this cage. For Lisa. For you. For every life I destroyed. Thank you for stopping me before I killed again. Because I would have. Victoria Hastings. Inmate hash 849236. Tessa reads it twice, then folds it carefully. She doesn't write back. Just files it away in her desk drawer. Rachel watches her. How do you feel? Tessa considers. She's finally understanding what it means to be powerless. That's the only justice she gets from me. The cemetery is quiet under autumn sun. Tessa kneels at Lisa's grave, fresh lilies in her hands, Lisa's favorite. She arranges them carefully around the headstone. Hey, sis. Her voice is soft. It's been a year since Victoria was sentenced. Life without parole. She'll never hurt anyone again. She traces Lisa's name carved in granite. The law named after you has saved hundreds of workers already. Your death wasn't in vain. Wind rustles through trees, peaceful, gentle. I miss you every single day. I see your smile in my dreams. I hear your laugh when I'm alone. Tessa pulls out the ceremonial FBI badge, retired but forever Lisa's. You always told me to fight for what's right, even when it's hard. So that's what I did. For you. She places the badge against the headstone. This belongs to both of us now. You inspired it. I just carried it out. Tears come, but they're different now. Not grief alone. Something else mixed in. Peace, purpose, love. I hope wherever you are, you're painting, creating beautiful things, finally free. She sits in the grass, talks to Lisa like she's still there, about the workers freed, the lives rebuilt, the law that bears her name. An hour passes, maybe more. Finally, Tessa stands, wipes her eyes, kisses her fingers, presses them to Lisa's name. I love you, sis. Always. Tessa enters a luxury high-rise hotel dressed as a housekeeper, Wire already active in her uniform, another wealthy executive suspected of trafficking, another investigation. She rides the service elevator up, adjusts her name tag, checks her recording device. The elevator stops, doors open. Before stepping out, she catches her reflection in the polished metal. For a moment, she sees Lisa's face overlapping hers, smiling, proud. She touches the silver bracelet on her wrist, worn openly now. A reminder, a promise. I carry you with me, sis. Always. Tessa steps out. The doors close behind her. She moves down the hallway with purpose, invisible to the powerful, but watching everything. Her voice echoes one final truth. Power without accountability is just abuse with a prettier address. But accountability? That's where justice lives. And I'm always watching. Right now, somewhere in America, another Lisa is being dragged across marble floors. Another billionaire is threatening deportation. Another worker is too terrified to call for help. Another accident is being planned. And most of them won't survive to tell their story. But you just watched what happens when one person refuses to let injustice win. Tessa Coleman didn't have superpowers. She had grief, determination, and 6 weeks of patience while a monster revealed herself. That's the formula for justice. The numbers are staggering. 2.5 million domestic workers in the United States, most invisible, most exploited, most silent. At least 150 workers have died in suspicious accidents over the past decade. Car crashes, falls, sudden illnesses, cases closed in days. Why? Because the rich write the endings, until someone like Tessa rewrites them. Here's what you can do right now. Know someone being exploited? National Human Trafficking. Hotline 1-888-373-7888. Anonymous, confidential, saves lives. Witness abuse at work? Document it. Record dates. Save messages. Contact tips.fbi.gov. Your evidence could free dozens. Want to help? Support National Domestic Workers Alliance at ndwa.org. They provide legal aid, resources, and protection. One phone call, one tip, one share. That's all it takes to be someone's Tessa. Let's make this go viral. Share this story with someone who needs to hear it. Your aunt who employs domestic help. Your friend in hospitality. Your colleague who thinks it doesn't happen here. It happens everywhere. Comment below. What would you have done in Tessa's position? Would you endure 6 weeks of abuse to catch a killer? Would you risk your life for justice? Would you let the slap land so the camera could capture it? Tell us, because your answer reveals who you are.